What is up, guys? Episode 2 of Locker Room Talk with JLowe and Dre. We got a lot of stuff planned out for today's episode. We're going to be talking about a lot of different subjects. It's really football oriented today. We got a little bit of basketball stuff. We're going to be talking about Tom Brady, Cam Newton, Antonio Brown, the Saints, new playoff format for the NBA, MJ versus LeBron debates, and last we're going to talk about a little bit of George Floyd. My bad. But George Floyd, because that's been impacting us a lot. So we're going to get a little in depth about that at the very end, just because this is impacting us so much right now. So we're going to let our voices be heard a little bit here. But Jay, you want to say anything?
No, let's get started.
All right. So first things first, Dre, does Tom Brady make the Tampa Bay Bucks legitimate Super Bowl contenders? What's your take on that?
No, I don't believe so. I mean, the NFC is pretty deep. And if they're going to be running Bruce Arians' offense, I just don't believe Tom Brady has the arm strength to push the ball down to the field to those big body receivers, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. But Tom Brady's a vet, so I'm sure Bruce Arians and him will kind of get together and formulate what works best for the team and also Tom Brady. But it's not that I do believe they're going to be a playoff team this year. Adding Gronk, Tom.
I was going to say you have to at least believe they're going to be a playoff team.
I just Super Bowl contender. Are they better than the 49ers?
And we're saying that they're legitimate Super Bowl contenders. So if they're in the playoffs,
when I think of legitimate Super Bowl contender, like they have to make it to the NFC Championship.
The NFC Championship. You don't see them making it to the NFC Championship this year? Who do you have going?
I don't know.
Who do you have going?
It's not the talent that like worries me. It's just like the whole offseason right now. Like, how long is it going to take them to click? Like, you know what I mean? Like when the season starts, they don't have much time as far as training camp to be like.
I mean, the only two pieces moving into it that are big is Tom Brady, which is the greatest quarterback of all time.
That's a big.
I understand that, but do you think that Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time, is not going to be able to adjust?
I think he can. I think he can adjust, but I mean, you still have the Saints, the 49ers, Seahawks.
Who do you have going?
The Packers.
Who's your two? What's your NFC Championship?
NFC Championship matchup.
Yes. Give me your two teams. Who's going to be in it?
I'm gonna say the 49ers and
Tampa Bay Bucks.
I think the Green Bay Packers. I mean,
wow.
I think it's gonna be a rematch. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna have something to prove this year with them drafting Jordan Love. Try and show him that he still got it and he's still the man. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying. My whole thing is that Tampa Bay Bucks team, they were good last year. They were like underrated in my opinion. Jameis Winston, which we're gonna get to later, he's a great quarterback. I believe in Jameis. Last year, he just turned over the ball way too much. There were so many close games. I think they were one of the teams that they lost like four or five close games. They were within 8-7 points, and that team, their defense was elite last year. Then you get the greatest quarterback of all time. Granted, he doesn't have the same arm power as he used to. He never used to be able to throw the ball deep. But Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, they're going to make his job look way easier. You played wide receiver. You understand that you can make your quarterback look better by your talents.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, you still have to look out for the New Orleans Saints as well. I mean, that Drew Brees versus Tom Brady matchup is going to be a big matchup.
Who wins that?
And I think the Saints just have more chemistry. They have one of the top 3 receivers in the league.
Do you think their chemistry is doing good right now with what the comments Drew Brees said?
At the end of the day, I mean, he did own up to his apology. He did own up and apologize for his mistake. I do believe his comment was a little ignorant and tone deaf. I mean, I don't think by any means anyone thinks Drew Brees is that type of guy. He just wasn't aware of the situation. And if you actually look at the question asked, it wasn't about the George Floyd take. It was about Kaepernick and the whole kneeling of the flag. But we'll get into that a
Yeah,
little later.
we're getting that later. It's just my only thing about that is that even his own teammate, Michael Thomas, talked a little bit about it and said that he doesn't know, and then other things about that nature. So I just feel like that locker room might be a little bit divided. Not super divided. It's
Yeah.
Drew Brees. He's a leader. He's going to
But
get
at
that
the end of
locker
the
room.
day, they're football players. They're getting paid to win games, so
It's
they're gonna do what they have to
my whole
do.
standpoint on it is just that if you get Tom Brady and Gronk on a new team, I think that both of them, Gronk has again lost a step. Tom Brady lost a lot of steps, but it's just when you get both of them on the team with a team that's already doing good, it was already doing good. Bruce Arians, a great head coach. When you put them together, I think that's NFC championship bound for sure. Just like the Cardinals went there a couple. Wait, didn't they go? No, they lost to the Panthers that year, but it's the Bruce Arians is going to get him there. I guarantee you. We'll get back to this. And
Yeah,
we'll get him there.
having Gronk there is gonna be like Tom Brady's security blanket. They have the most chemistry on that team together. But how well are both of them gonna hold up? Like Gronk retired because he was just physically exhausted, all these injuries.
He's had all this time
I do believe they're gonna load manage him a little bit because they do have other tight ends.
They have the great. I think they have the three best tight ends in the league right now. They have OJ Howard, Cameron Brate, and Gronk. I think people are sleeping on Cameron Brate. I'm a Cameron Brate fan.
You're saying tight end group as a whole, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They have the greatest. They have the most depth in the league right now at tight end.
All right.
And do you agree with that? I mean, I feel like that's not an outlandish.
I mean, I would have to do more research, but I mean, as of now,
I mean, the Ravens have good tight ends. They had Hurst, Mark Andrews. I think they lost the last one, whoever the last one is, but I still think that Bucks group even beats that tight end group. But I mean, we can agree to disagree on that, but I'm just not too sure on that. And then moving over to
so who's your NFC championship matchup? If you do
my NFC, I definitely have the Niners. You can't say the Niners aren't going to go back there. Niners and Bucks, yeah, that's my take. Niners and Bucks, and if the Bucks don't do it, I say, no, I got Niners and Bucks. That's I'm standing on that. Niners and Bucks, lock that down. Yeah. Or the Rams. No, I'm kidding. They're not going to do good this year.
Nah, I don't know if they'll make playoffs.
They're not. Speaking a little bit about the Saints, what do you actually think they're going to do after Drew Brees retires?
Sean Payton has already came out and said that it could be Drew Brees' last year. So they're thinking about this like soon, like in the near future. I mean, their backup quarterbacks right now, they have Jameis Winston, who just signed Jameis Winston, who just signed I believe it was a very small contract, like $1 million for 1 year.
Yeah, it was a small contract.
1.1 million.
Yeah, it was a super small. It was it
was
Taysom 3, Hill. But I could be wrong.
Then they have Taysom Hill, who I don't even see as a quarterback. I see him more as a utility player. I mean, a wildcat quarterback, but I don't think he can be your every down quarterback.
So what are they going to do after he retires? Do you think? I think they're going to go with Jameis, and I'll talk a little bit after that.
I do too. I think Jameis is Jameis has the talent to get it done. He just made mistakes. And listen, you got to blame Jameis for the interceptions, but the offense Bruce Arians likes to run is he likes to push the ball down the field. So, like, I mean, was Jameis really, like, forcing all those throws? He was, but that's just the system and offense. Like, anytime you push the ball down the field, you're taking a chance of throwing an interception. And like, throwing for 5,000 yards, like, you need talent to do that. Like, not everyone can do that.
That's a hard – like, I feel like people are discrediting that he threw – like, I get he threw a lot of interceptions, but – and Stephen A. says that he should have got Defensive Player of the Year, which, I mean, granted, he could have. But my thing is that if you look back at Bruce Arians when he was in Arizona and you look when he had Carson Palmer's first year there, he didn't have – his stats weren't that good. He said that it took him a lot to learn the system, and that after year one and went into year two, he said that you look at his stats, his numbers go up. You can pull up the stats on the screen, Connor, if you can. Connor was supposed to be on this episode, but I texted him and he's not here, so let's put it out there if people wondering where Connor's at. But you put up his stats, is that he made a major improvement after year 1 to 2 in Bruce Arians' offense. Bruce Arians' offense is complex. Jameis Winston, let's be real, he's never been known as the most brightest guy in the world. That's kind of a fact. He's not the brightest guy in the world, but it is a complicated offense, and Jameis Winston has the talent to actually be a good starting quarterback in this league, like he did for the first couple years.
Yeah, and I believe that like sitting under Drew Brees, who's one of the best to ever do it, in the locker room, watching film, chalk talk, like he's gonna learn a lot from Drew Brees. Sean Payton, like he knows how to make the best situation for the quarterback. So yeah, I just think Drew Brees is going to step into that role as starting quarterback after. Jameis Winston. I'm sorry, after Drew
And I
Brees
think Jameis
retires.
Winston can fit in that Saints team well. I think that Saints offense. I think Sean Payton can make that work. Yeah, I think Sean Payton can work that team and make it work under Jameis Winston's benefit.
Yeah, I mean, and everyone like Michael Thomas isn't known as a deep ball threat. He's known as more of an intermediate. But who's to say that's not on Drew Brees' lacking of like
You're
arm
right.
strength? He's getting
That is
older.
true.
I mean, Jameis comes in there. We might see Michael Thomas
Yo,
running down the field.
I never
Yeah,
thought of that. Do you think Michael Thomas can catch some bombs from Jameis? Some deep bombs?
I do. I do. Now, will he be as good of a deep threat as Mike Evans, who can win like 50-50
That's a tall
balls and is a
man.
big body
That's a
receiver?
tall man.
Yeah, I'm not sure,
That's a
but
tall man.
Michael Thomas is definitely a better
Oh,
route runner.
for sure. But Mike Evans, you can't. You can't teach. What is it? You can't teach height. You can't teach. Yeah,
You can't
size.
teach
There you go.
size,
That's what
like
I'm looking for. You
yeah,
can't teach that.
but he'll also have Alvin Kamara in the
Yep.
backfield.
Jameis Winston he's never had that running back like that. He's never had an Alvin Kamara like running back. Doug Martin.
Nope.
Who believed in Doug Martin? He was a good fantasy player sometimes, but
and Alvin Kamara can get it done in the run game and the pass game. So I mean, that's just another weapon out of the backfield.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Jay, I think you're gonna know where I'm going with the quarterbacks here. Cam Newton. What's the best fit for him? What team do you think should take a chance on Cam Newton right now? Or do you think he should even be in the league?
I do. Cam Newton is only 31 years old, I believe. Like we have quarterbacks playing until their 40s right now, but it's grand to say that like yes, Cam has taken more of a beating over his career than say like Drew Brees, Tom Brady. That's just his play style. But I would like to see him I would like to see him go to the Patriots. I mean, I
Take
think
Jared Stidham's spot.
it would just Jared Stidham. I don't even know how many passes he threw last year, like one or two when it was a pick.
He did throw a pick six.
And then he got yanked.
You think Jared Stidham should get a spot taken? Jared Stidham.
Yes, Cam Newton, and it would just be more exciting. When's the last time the Patriots had a dual threat quarterback?
But do you think Cam Newton could fill the void of Tom Brady? Do you think like that? That's a lot of.
I don't think Cam Newton will feel any pressure from that. I don't think Cam Newton will feel any pressure. But I think Stidham will. Stidham will definitely. But
Stidham's rookie. What is Stidham gonna feel? Stidham's just happy he's getting the starting quarterback job. If I'm Jared Stidham, I'm just happy I'm getting the starting quarterback job. I'm not.
But I would like to see Josh McDaniels, who is their offensive coordinator, have Cam Newton and how like creative he could be. He couldn't be that creative with Tom Brady. I mean, dink and dunk, like you can run RPOs with Cam. I know that like they're waiting for everything to open back up, like get their doctors and to get their hands on Cam Newton, see how healthy he actually is, how his shoulder is.
My whole thing is that for Cam Newton's always been an exciting player. He gets a touchdown, he dabs. He's an exciting electric player. Do you think Bill Belichick's going to let that excitement leak into his locker room? Bill Belichick's a dictatorship. This is my locker room.
That is exactly why Tom and Gronk wanted to get out.
Exactly. So do you think Cam Newton wants to go in there?
If I'm Cam, I want to start a job and I want to go to a team that can win, just to prove to the Panthers. Like Teddy Bridgewater over Cam Newton.
Teddy Bridgewater over Cam Newton. You don't believe in it? Well, here's the thing that you're wrong, because the Patriots is a wrong answer. It's all wrong. Cam Newton should be picked up by the Broncos.
The Broncos.
Denver.
What about Drew Lock? Drew Lock is more.
Yeah, Drew Lock is better than Drew Lock. I know you're not coming in here with Drew Lock.
Drew Lock is better than.
You know how many quarterbacks got taken over Drew Lock?
Okay. You know how many quarterbacks got taken over Tom
All right,
Brady?
fair enough. Fair,
Who is the GOAT?
fair enough. This is my statement. Drew Lock, he came in the last season after Joe Flacco messed everything up in the Denver. All right. Drew Lock had an okay season. Everyone's not really talking about no one was talking about Drew Lock last year because he had an average season, and then now people are believing that he's going to be good. Drew Lock, I said it when he got drafted. I'm saying it now. And you can clip this if he becomes the greatest, and you can clip this whenever he does trash because that's what he's going to do. Drew Lock is not a good quarterback, and it's not a good starting quarterback. Be a good starting quarterback. How many quarterbacks have been ran through out of Denver now? Brock Osweiler, Case Keenum, Joe Flacco. Paxton Lynch got drafted there, but who believed in Paxton Lynch? So I mean, I'll give you that. Do you really think that Drew Lock's going to work there too? Think about Cam Newton. Think of Cam Newton winning that team. He automatically fights. Drew Lock is not going to be good by week 8. Cam Newton goes in there as a backup job.
If he goes in there as a backup. If he goes to the Broncos, he's not going there as a backup, bro. He's going to be starting week 1.
But if he's going to be starting week 1, why don't they go over there and pick him up right now? 1? I think Bill Belichick believes in Stidham, bro. I don't know. I think you believe. There's a reason why they haven't got him either. They believe in their guys. They believe in them.
Or are they? Are they just gonna roll the dice
before they draft the quarterback? The Chargers,
knowing he's not good, tank, and then get Trevor Lawrence.
No way. There's no way the Patriots are tanking. There's no way. There's no way.
Jerry Jeudy's gonna be pretty good.
Jeudy,
arguably the best receiver in the draft.
But imagine Jerry Jeudy and Cam Newton. Imagine Jerry Jeudy.
You don't even know what Drew Lock
and Cortland Sutton. Yeah, you don't know what Drew Lock can become. So you get Cam Newton on a 1-year deal. You get him as a backup, and when Drew Lock sucks, you put in Cam. And Cam's going to light it up because that team's good. That defense is good. He has good wide receivers. He's going to be healthy by week 8. He's going to know the system by week 8. Cam Newton's going to work in that system, guaranteed. There's no debate about it.
I don't know.
You lost.
If he goes to the Patriots are a playoff team. Well, the Broncos.
Antonio Brown.
What about AB?
What would be the best situation if Antonio Brown returned to the league? First off, do we even think he's going to get in the league?
Antonio Brown is a nutcase. Maybe not this year. Hopefully, following years, he definitely has the talent to do so. I mean, whenever he comes back, he's going to be a top 5, top 10 receiver still.
Antonio Brown gets a clean slate. Nothing. He's a wide receiver. He's begged for his forgiveness. The league's looking at him. Your team. You believe in his forgiveness. He went to the hospital. He's all good. He's not crazy anymore. What team should be knocking on AB's door?
If I'm Russell
Wilson,
to this team, I'm going to his doorstep myself. If I'm the Seattle Seahawks,
Russell Wilson
will put them in Super Bowl contention. Listen. They'll have 3 established receivers: AB, Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf, who had a good rookie year. And I think he's going to grow into something special. Russell Wilson, I think AB needs to go to an established organization who has a veteran quarterback who can manage him. You know what I mean? You can't put Antonio Brown with like a younger quarterback who's gonna dictate him, like throw me the ball. You know, you can't do that. Russell Wilson, I think, would be able to manage him, and I just think that would be exciting to see all 3 of those receivers. They have a good run game.
You're right. You are right in that.
I was saying they have a good run game as well. But yeah, what's your take on that?
My thing is that you're right. I do believe that a veteran quarterback and a good locker room and Pete Carroll, that is a good environment to have AB in. Yeah. Just like when Josh Gordon was in there. That's a good environment to be around. But granted, Josh Gordon still got into some trouble and they had to let him go. So that could not work. My take is that you fly over to Baltimore. You don't fly to Baltimore. Baltimore goes over there. You see, Antonio Brown's over here hanging out with his cousin, Mr. Hollywood Brown, and Lamar Jackson. They're working out over here, and you just go to the front office.
I
And you
just
say,
don't
front
believe
office,
he fits
get
with
this guy
Lamar's
in
play
here.
style.
We have
Maybe he
both
wants
of
the
them.
ball.
I get. He wants the ball, but you think he's gonna be mad if Hollywood Brown's getting the touchdowns?
Lamar
You think he's
drop
gonna be
back
mad at his
and
own
he's running
cousin?
a deep post and he sees Lamar take off running.
You think he's gonna be mad?
AB is
You don't
a
think they're
diva.
good
Yeah,
friends?
you
I
can
think
be
they're good friends,
until it
probably.
comes game time. He wants it. He wants.
Granted, you're right because Juju Smith-Schuster was a
AB
great
wants his
teammate. He was a great teammate from what we know. Yeah, he does. And Juju Smith-Schuster was a great teammate to him. And all we know is he turned on it, Juju Smith. I agree with that.
You don't.
Moving on to the next subject. Don't want to. We got.
I'm sorry.
No, you can go.
And you don't want to ruin that team's chemistry. Like, they're a young offense, and if he comes in there ruining everything, like the chemistry, that's just bad. That's just going to be bad for the organization. Like, you're just going to be going downhill. You were the best regular season team in the NFL last year. Like, just why not continue to grow with what you have?
I see what you're saying, and I can see what you're saying.
Russell Wilson's getting older. Like you want to win now with the Seahawks. Like, of course, the Ravens want to win now, but they have a good young core who I believe as they grow, they will win.
I could see it working out in both situations, and I could see it failing in both situations. I'll say that.
Okay. I think it would fail more so in Baltimore though than the Seahawks.
I mean, and I think it'll fail more in the Seahawks than in Baltimore.
Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson are both established. They're good leaders.
Okay. What happened with Josh Gordon? Explain to me how Josh Gordon didn't work out there.
That was Josh Gordon's fault. That had nothing to do with football. Josh Gordon, that didn't ruin team chemistry. That was Josh Gordon.
You think this isn't going to be Antonio Brown's fault?
Yes, I think it's going to be Antonio Brown's fault as far as football, not Josh Gordon doing drugs.
I mean, Antonio Brown might as well be doing drugs.
I mean, he probably has CTE, all the concussions
he probably has something. Montez perfect. Fudge that man up.
And everyone's seen the video that surfaced of maybe like the whole weight set falling on top of his head. So
I actually didn't see that.
All right, Connor, you got to add that in there.
Yeah, I would say, Connor, if you can add that in there, I want to see it in post recording. Dre, you might have to send that to him. I want to see that actually. Moving on to the next subject. The new playoff format. We can just go through this briefly. We talked about it last time for the NBA. I want to get a little NBA news in here. The NBA just announced today, I believe it was, they all voted that there's going to be 22 teams back they're going to have 8 regular season games. Dre, you explain it. Right. I'm bad at explaining stuff.
So, the new playoff format was announced yesterday, and I believe it was agreed upon today at around 12 o'clock. So there's going to be 22 teams coming back to play the regular season in the playoffs in Orlando, 13 from the West and 9 from the East. So there's going to be 8 regular season games, like Justin said. There's going to be a play-in tournament, I believe you were saying, JLowe?
I do know about this. Okay, so the way that it works, okay, there's 13 teams from the West, right? 13?
Yes.
There's 13 teams from the West, and there's 9 teams from the East. Those are the 22 teams that are coming back, okay? So the top 7 teams are automatically going to be in. The top 7 in each conference automatically get to be in. Doesn't matter. It's top 7 seeds. And then after that point, the team 8 and 9, they have to be within 4 games of each other, and they're going to have a play-in tournament just for that last spot. And so the way that the play-in tournament works is going to be a best-of-2 series. In my best-of-2, the 8th seed just has to win one game.
Yep, the 9th seed has to win both, right?
One game. Yes, and then the 9th seed has to win both games. So they come in Portland versus Pelicans for the 8th seed in the West. Portland's the 8th seed. They just have to win one game. Lose the first game, win the second game, they're in.
You still have to factor in the I mean, the 3 teams that I have factored in are the Grizzlies, the Trailblazers, and the Pelicans. Like, who would you want to see make get that 8 seed and maybe not knock off the Lakers, but like be a threat, like maybe win a game or two.
Win a game or
push
two.
It to game 6, game 7.
I'm not sure about if they push this to game 7, okay? But Dre, You're tell me right now. A Lakers versus Pelicans matchup in the finals wouldn't be exciting, bro. Tell me that wouldn't be exciting.
It wouldn't
Lonzo
even be
Ball,
finals. It'd be the first round of the playoffs.
whatever. It'd be the finals in my heart. You told me that game wouldn't be exciting. Seeing Lonzo Ball versus go against LeBron, who didn't want him. Brandon Ingram going against LeBron, who didn't want him. Zion Williamson dunking on LeBron's neck. You tell me that game wouldn't be exciting, bro?
It would be exciting if we were in a regular playoff like format. Like there's going to be no fans. It's just going to be an empty arena in Orlando. It's going to be basically like a scrimmage. So no, I don't think it's going to be as exciting as you think. So I want to see a team who can win a few games. That team's young. They don't even know how to win in the playoffs yet. I want to see Mr. Dame Dollar against LeBron.
Get out of here with Dame.
Listen, they have Nurkic coming back. They have Zach Collins coming back. CJ and Dame can average. They can score 70 together any given night. You don't know when Dame's going to go off for 40 or 50.
What happened when the Blazers went to the Western Conference Finals? They got shut down.
That was by the Golden State Warriors. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Arguably one of the greatest teams of.
You go to the Western Conference Finals, put up a fight, bro. There was no fight there. There's nothing.
Okay, they've added pieces since then. Listen, they're going to be refreshed. Like Nurkic is coming back healthy. Zach Collins. You also have Hassan Whiteside in the middle. He's one of the top leaders in rebounds and blocks.
Garbage. I watched Hassan Whiteside's whole career.
You're being biased because he left the Heat.
He's a stat stuffer. He's a overpaid stat stuffer. That's where Hassan Whiteside is.
Okay, yeah.
Hassan,
all right.
Watch this. Watch this, Hassan. You're garbage. Look, put Hassan highlights on right now.
You don't just average. You don't just lead the league in blocks and rebounds.
I don't believe he's ever led the league in blocks this season. He's always been close.
Okay, he's probably top 3 right now.
He is. Yeah, he's top 3.
Rebounds as well.
Yes, I believe. We can put up rebounds and stats up if we want. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of their job today.
I mean that they have more superstar power, I feel like, than the Pelicans. Besides Zion, I mean Brandon Ingram. I love Brandon Ingram. I think he's grown into something special. He can be like a bootleg KD, maybe Kevin Durant. But Dame Dollar, hot with the rhymes.
Moving this along a little bit. We're gonna try to get this in 30 minutes here. We got 2 more topics I want to talk about today. Next thing I want to talk about, a debate that's gonna go down in history forever. LeBron, MJ. Do you think the Last Dance documentary cemented Michael Jordan as a GOAT?
I don't believe it cemented him as the GOAT. I believe as of right now, it brought the younger generation, like, they're more aware that MJ is the GOAT. Because, like, we never got to see him play live. He was retired before we were even born. So, like, just watching The Last Dance, you get to understand how good Michael Jordan actually was. But on the flip side, I know you were going to talk about, I'm going to let you go ahead and explain about LeBron and how he's still active.
That MJ retired before we were born. I believe he played on the Wizards.
He came back for the Wizards, okay?
I was like a year old. 2 years old. And I remember my 2-year-old self. No, I don't remember anything.
Hey, MJ was still getting buckets.
He was. He was still getting buckets. Yeah, I'll give you that. Now, what I'm going to say about that is that there's always going to be debates. LeBron versus Michael Jordan. LeBron retires right now. There's going to be debates. LeBron versus Michael Jordan. I personally don't believe in LeBron. You can't go to the finals that many times, lose that many times, and be called the GOAT. Whenever Michael Jordan went to the finals and didn't even go to Game 7. You can't tell me that. But my one thing is that the documentary didn't do much. It showed you. It was a great documentary. It showed you Michael Jordan. We didn't get to see him growing up. You're right. But it didn't change anyone's perspective. That's a LeBron James fan that says LeBron James is the best.
There's been plenty of young athletes, young professionals. Trey Young tweeted he didn't even know how good Michael Jordan was until watching this. Yeah, you see highlights, but like this documentary just showed you how good he was. And everyone,
it makes him look like an asshole too.
okay, who cares about being an asshole? Do you want to win games?
You want to win games?
Do you want to win games?
I mean, I do, but I don't want to be yelled at.
Okay, Michael Jordan literally
I'm a lover.
punched Steve Kerr in the face.
Steve Kerr's a little punk for that. I just putting that out there. I don't care.
Hey, don't come at my dog Steve Kerr like that. He fought back. Like he wasn't no bitch. He was fighting.
He was fighting.
Yes.
He might white boy Steve Kerr trying to fight Michael Jordan. He
wasn't putting up much of a fight, but hey, Michael Jordan respected him much more for not backing down. And then he trusted Steve Kerr. He hit the shot against the Jazz.
We're pushing over 30 minutes here, so I just want to let's wrap this up here. There's one more thing I want to talk about. Obviously, there's a lot going on today, and for community around everything, I know everyone's seen everything that's happened with the Black Lives Matter movement, what happened with George Floyd. So we're gonna keep this a little sports related, but the question is to you is that how did the death of George Floyd impact the sports community?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I want to say just rest in peace to George Floyd. I'm praying for his family. You know, I hope justice is brought to his family. But
they're all arrested too, by the way.
Yep,
all four of the cops got arrested, which is deserved. You can't tell that.
You want to they need to be convicted for what they did, as Stephen A was saying earlier. But I'm glad athletes and professional athletes are speaking out on this topic. You know, using their platform to voice their opinion.
LeBron James is doing a great job.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good as a leader and a role model to, you know, try to bring more awareness to the movement. And I mean, you want to educate yourself on what happened and not just be like speaking on stuff you don't know about. But I'm just glad athletes are voicing their opinion and using their platform.
This is the first time I feel like this is
the first time I've seen like everyone together.
And granted, the conversation always switches to something else about the looting and like all this like it always changes conversation. But this was the first time. Eric Gardner, people weren't on his side for that. There's still people trying to debate that that wasn't the cops' fault or something. Yeah. This is the first time I feel like ever in America, ever, you can't look at that video and say that wasn't right.
No, exactly. I mean, police brutality against colored minority people has been I mean, you just got to look at the facts. Like it's been there for quite some time now. And, you know, I just hope justice is brought to his family. And, you know, I'm always praying for change in the future. And I'm just glad the country is, I mean, obviously the country is in a divided like time right now, but I'm glad everyone's, you know, wishing for better times in the future.
100%. And it sucks that someone had to die for this all to happen, but I'm happy that it feels like change is finally going to happen this time. This is what I'm happy about. And it sucks that this is all happening. I don't condone violence. Obviously, I wish George Floyd was still here. I wish he was still here right now. I wish the cops, like, I wish all this wasn't a thing, but I'm just happy that it's finally justice is finally, it feels like everyone's awake and realizing that this is something that's been happening forever now.
Yep.
All right. Is there anything else you want to close off with, Dre?
No, I think we hit everything. I mean, besides your dumb takes, we can close the video.
My undisputed takes.
And, you know, guys, just like, comment, subscribe. You know, let us know what you guys want to talk about in the comments, like for future episodes. And me and JLowe are also going to be starting our own segments. Like, we're going to be trying to bring more content weekly to you guys.
100%. We're going to have more content on this channel. We're going to have a lot more things. Comment anything you want us to talk about. We read all the comments. We're going to look at all of them. If you think we should debate about something, talk about anything, put it in the comments. This has been a great episode, Dre. It's always good talking to you, man. And we have big things planned for this channel, guys. So I hope you guys stick around and watch us grow.